Hello friends, welcome back to our CCNA 200-301 series. Today is video number 75. In video number 75, we are going to discuss about Syslog. Already we discussed about SNMP protocol, that is a simple network management protocol. We discussed in the video number 74. So today in video number 75, we are going to discuss about Syslog. What is Syslog? Before going that one, let me tell you where it is present in our syllabus. As per our subscriber request, whenever I am teaching the topic, I am saying that one where it is present and what the point, that is the point number. So if you see the Cisco syllabus, that is 4.5, you will see describe the use of Syslog features including the facilities and the levels. So we have in our syllabus, and level is also very important. In interview they are asking the what are the level and what is the level 0, level 1, like this in the interview. So you need to remember also the levels. So let me start. Syslog. Syslog stands for System Logging Protocol. Syslog is a standard for messaging logging, often used on the network devices. Let me show you some sample before going to the theory. I already designed a lab, but anyhow we will do again. But let me show you. See, I open this packet tracer, okay, and then I will press example. If I go in the enable mode, let me go in the enable mode. I will write enable, then I will go in the config, and then I will go in the interface F0/0 or any interface. Let me go F0/0. Let me type shut. Okay. So see, if you see, there is a messages. It is coming like this. If you observe, there is a this messages. Like these messages. This messages is nothing but a syslog. Whatever log we are getting in the router, switches, and firewalls, that is nothing but a syslog. Router is giving some log, whatever is happening, that is a syslog. So what is the use of syslog? Why we want to learn about this one? Maybe you will think why we need to know about this one. So this is very important. Example, if you have router, okay, in your organization you have so many routers, so many switches, okay. So if you want to check anything happen or what happened, you can go to the router one by one and you can log in and you can check, okay. You have the history also in the syslog. If you want to see, you can check also in the locally. But if you have 300 switch, it is difficult to log in each and every switch and check, right? So for that purpose, what we will have one centralized server. In that server, we are going to record all the messages. Example, if you have a big network, let me draw and explain you. If you have big network, I will draw like one switch. One switch is connected to one router. You imagine this one switch is connected to many, maybe 200 switches. You have 15 routers. You have many connectivity. So if you want to check any syslog, then it is difficult. You need to access this. You need to access this. You need to access this. You need to access so many. But if you have one common server, that is syslog server, it will record all the syslog of all the devices. You can log in and you can check. Easy, right? Instead of going to each and every device or taking the telnet or SSH of each and every device and log in and checking that one, it is easy to see here in the one device. Okay. So let me tell you what I prepare notes. Syslog show messages and is able and it able to store them on the local device. Means syslog show the messages as well as it will store in the local device. Local device is nothing but the device itself, the router or switch itself, it will store that one. Or we can use one external server and the messaging will go to the external server. External server is also going to store the messages, local whatever messages, whatever logs we have for all our devices. It is going to store in the device itself as well as in our server. But the problem, you will think, okay, device is storing very good and why we need server? Because this is limited to memory and these devices are also storing in the RAM, like in a buffer. So whenever this device restart or reload, you will lose all the data. Okay. So for that purpose, we are using syslog. Let me go to the point. Whenever anything happened to your router or switches, Cisco IOS inform us with the help of syslog. So we will have the interface went down or there is a issue with something with the router. We will have noticed just now the one I shown you. Okay, so by default there syslog messages are only output to the console, means when we are login with the console, then only we can see the syslog messages, live messages, the one which I shown you just now. Let me show you. If you see this one, these messages, live messages, we can see when we are logging with the console. If we are logging with the SSH or telnet, we cannot see that one. See here, console, not through the telnet or SSH. We can enable the syslog messages to telnet or SSH by typing terminal monitor command. Okay, so when we are login, means I am sitting in my server room. No, we have server syslog server in our server room. So also we have devices in our server room. But I am sitting in my desk and I want to log into one's router and check some configuration. So I cannot see because I am login with telnet or SSH. Okay. So if I want to enable that one, the syslog messages, like saying here how just now we see something like this when it is going down or up live, I want to see, then I need to enable the terminal monitor so I can see with the telnet and SSH also. Okay, we will see, we are going to configure one device and we will test that one also. Okay, and we can check the syslog message local history also. Whatever syslog messages is generated in our device, we can check locally also by typing the command show logging. Okay, but if the device restart, then it will lose the one just now I explained you. If the device restart or maybe the router operating system is corrupted, then we will lose all the local syslog whatever is stored on the device. That's why we are using our server. So whenever we want, we can check in the server. So as it is a store in the buffer, we can increase the size of the buffer, as well as in the router we can say some memory limitation. So we cannot store all the syslog, but we can increase the memory or decrease the memory. Okay, like buffer loading buffer and give the memory size, so it will increase or it will decrease also. I will show you, no problem. Let me take router. Let me minimize this one. Whatever point we are discussing, I will show you also doing this one. Then we will set up our server also. Okay, so see here, this is one router example. And if I want to check, okay, if I want to check our history, whatever history present in the router, what command I told you to check that one, we need to write show login. Okay, so I will write do show login. Why I am writing do show? Because I am in the global configuration mode. If you are in the normal mode, you can directly write show login. Okay, let me maximize. So if I put this command show login, so he will give me all whatever syslog messages have we have or we don't have, whatever we have, we can check like this. Okay, and here you can check the log buffer also. If you want to increase the buffer size, we can increase also. Okay, so we can check this detail like this message by typing show login. And if you want to increase or decrease, you can copy from here. You can copy this command and type in the router. Let me copy this one. By typing this one, we can increase or decrease the memory of the buffer of the router. Okay, we have here 17 something. If I want to increase or decrease, I will type this one. Then here if you see, we have 17384. So let me make 1800 something like this. Okay, now if I want to check, I will write do and show login. Okay, then I will press enter. And if you see here, the size is changed. So we can change the size also, increase, decrease, but it is not advisable if we want to store everything in the router, because whenever router is having any issue, we will lose that one. That's why we need the we need the server, syslog server. So here we can check with the command show logging or include buffer. By typing this command also we can check. And local history is good, but it is stored in the RAM. When it is reload, it will gone. Okay, so the thing just now I told you, all the syslog history is stored in the router. That is local history we can say, but when router restart, it will lose. So generally in the production network, we are using centralized server called Syslog server. Okay, so we are going to do that lab. Syslog is a protocol Syslog is a protocol, a standard, and you can configure router switch to forward the Syslog message to the Syslog server. Okay, so we are going to do how we can do configuration, that one. In packet tracer we can do, or in our GNS or EVNG we can do, but as we are using packet tracer, so we are going to use the packet tracer. So see here, it will send, and we need to configure like this. We need to write in the router logging host, then we need to give the Syslog server IP address. Okay, example like this. And here we are doing like this, but we have application. If you want to use in an organization or anywhere real time, you can have the application like Syslog servers application, Kiwi Syslog server free edition by SolarWind, or there is a different, like I given here, PRTG Syslog, or this one. We have many more the Syslog application. We will take this one, we will install in our server, and then we will configure. So we will have the all the log everything. But in our lab we already have the server in our packet tracer, so we can use that one as a Syslog. Okay, but in your real life, real environment, you will install in this application, any one application your organization will purchase, and they will install and they will configure. So all the router switches, all the Syslog will be stored there. If any router is corrupted or anything happened wrong, so you can check what is the problem and when what happened. You will have all detail. Okay, so Syslog format. So we will see format. Format is like this: sequence number. Sequence number is optional. We will have timestamp, and then we will have facility, severity, and then what happened and the description. This is an example. Just now I record May 25, and this is the time, and this is the severity number, the 5. We have numbers 5, 6, 1, 0. I will tell you here. I have the Syslog severity level. So we are going to discuss here. So that one, after that, what happened, interface as administrative done. So we have like this. Okay, so this is the syntax what we are getting. So I recorded 2, 3. Here also see you have date, time, and the line protocol, interface done, change from state to done. Okay, so like this we are getting. So if you see, this is very important. You need to remember this one, because in many interviews they are asking Syslog severity level. So you need to remember. 0 means emergency. That means system is unstable, a panic condition we can say. And you have severity 1, you can say that is alert, a condition that should be correct immediately, such as corrupted system database or something like this. Okay, and severity value 2 means critical conditions such as hardware device error or something. And you have the level 3, that is error condition. Level 4 means warning, some warning condition. Level 5 means notice, like normal but significant condition, like something happened. Or we can say here, if you see, this is a 5. Okay, if you see here, this is a 5. If you see here, this is a 5, means notice means normal but significant condition, means it is going down. We are saying change to down, so that interface go down like this. Okay, and if you see information, 6 means information, something information informing us what is happened like this. And if you consider 7, then when we open the debug, that time we will have 7. Okay, so now we are going to do one lab, the simple lab. But when you done this lab and you have concept clear, that time you can take big lab with multiple routers. You can configure RIP or OSPF, EIGRP, any routing protocol, and do this one. But for simplicity, I am taking one router and one server, and I am doing this one. Okay, so first of all, what we will do, we will take one router and one server. We will connect, and I will set up the NTP server here. Why I want to set up NTP server? Because whatever logs we are getting with the time. So if we have wrong time in our router, then no use, right? So we need to have correct time in this one, then it will go here. So first of all, I will use this server as a NTP server as well as the Syslog server. You know, NTP server is nothing but a network time protocol. We use this to get the time from for our network routers and switches, or all the network devices, to get the time. So we should have unique time for all one, means no difference. All the routers, all the switches will have same time. We already learned this one, maybe last before 2 or 3 videos before we learn. If you are following the sequence, you will understand, no issue. Okay, so what I wrote the step, we will set up the NTP server and Syslog server in this one, in the server. Then we will assign the IP address to the router interface, this one, as well as we will assign the IP address here. Then we will configure the router as an NTP server, and then we need to configure one command, this one, so it will stamp the correct time in the syslog. Then we need to configure this server saying to router, log all your logging message to this IP address. We will give IP address of the server. Okay, so this is simple only. We have only theory, we don't have lab, but anyhow we are going to do lab also. I already done, but let me take the new one. This one let it be. Now I am going to take the new one. So what I will do, I will take one router, I will keep one router here, and let me take one server. I will take this server. Okay, this is one server, one router. I will connect this one with the automatic cable, and let me maximize this one so you will have good idea. So now what I will do, I will assign the IP address here. Let me write 192.168.1.1. This is the IP address for the router, and the IP address for the server I will write 192.168.1.2. Okay, so this is the IP what we are going to use. I wrote here. So now let me configure in the router, in the server also. I will go to the IP address. I will assign 192.168.1.2 and then subnet mask. Then I will write default gateway as our router IP address. Okay, so this is the IP I assign to the our server. And now what I will do, I will go to the server here. I will go to here NTP server. If you see here already it is on, I will put off and on. This is on, and then if you see here we have Syslog server. I will go Syslog server is also on by default, so I will keep off on just for just I am keep checking it is on or not. Okay, so you will check this one, and we already assigned the IP address. We have already IP address. Okay, so we will keep off this one. Then we will go to the router. I will go in the CLI. What I will do, I will assign the IP address to the interface. Okay, so what I will do, I will write no, then I will go in the enable mode, then the global configuration mode, then I will go to interface F0 by 0, F0 by 0, then I will assign the IP address 192.168.1.1 and subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Then I will write no shut. Okay, so this we assign the IP address, and now I am going to write here NTP also. So if I want to enable NTP server, I will write NTP, I will put question mark, so it will show. If we want to write, we need to write NTP server. So I need to assign this one as a server, means I am configuring our router to NTP server. So we already done this video how we can configure router as NTP server, how we will configure our router, like it should get the time from the NTP server. We already cover in last video. If you have confusion, see our previous video. But see, all the network device we need to configure. We need to go to global configuration mode. We need to write NTP and then server, and we need to write the IP address of our server. So our router is going to sync to the time from the server. So our server IP address is 192.168.1.2. Okay, I will put this enter, and then I will press Ctrl Z and I will write show clock. Okay, I will write show clock. It is showing old clock. Still it is not synchronized. So if I want to check, I will write show NTP status. It is saying unsynchronized, so it will take some time. Or what we can do, we can press fast forward, so it will do fast. And then I will press this one, and if you see it, clock is sync now. So now it is okay. So now let me check the time is correct or not. How we will check? We will write show clock, and then if you see, today is May 25, 2020, and this is the time. So now our NTP server is working fine. Our router is getting good. Everything is good. So now we need to configure configure syslog in our router. Okay, so how we are going to configure? If you see, first of all we need to do this timestamp. Okay, so we need to write service timestamp log and date time, this one. If we did not configure, we will not get the timestamp in our sys server. So I need to do this one. So what I will do, I will go in the router, I will go in the global configuration mode, and then I will paste this command. Okay, server this all, I will press enter. After that, this is the configuration we done. Now we need to configure syslog also. Means we need to tell to our router whatever syslogs you have, please forward this all syslog to our syslog server. Okay, this is our syslog server, so I am saying this router please send all syslog messages to this server. So how we will say, we need to write, let me write logging host, then we need to write the IP address of our server. So IP address for our server is 1.2. So I will write this one, and if you wait some time, we will get one notice saying that all the logging message is going to that one to our server. Okay, so it will come. And also what we can do here, if we how we want to check, we need to go to services and we need to click syslog, and then here we are going to get all the messages what is happening in the router. Okay, if any interface go down or it come up. So let me open, this is our router. What I can do, I will create this. See here we have one syslog saying that May 25, this one syslog configure from the console by console, and it will show that this syslogging is started logging to the host, this host. So it is saying that syslog of the CLI is initialized and it is started and it is logging to this server IP address. So what I can do, I can go to any configuration. Here I will go to another interface, F0 by 1. Okay, F0 by 1, then I will write no shut. Okay, so we get here, if you see, we get one message, May 25, this time the link, this is the severity level and change, this is change the interface F0 by 1 change to up, we get this message. Okay, and if you see in the syslog, this one we will have here, if you click here and click again, we have all the logs. Because this is a simulator, we are not updating simultaneously, so you need to press somewhere and you need to press again syslog, so you will have. So if you see, we have the timestamp and we have the host name, that is IP address of the which device we are getting, and we get here 6 message saying that system message, this one, the console by console someone is configuring, and then it is started, and then this one is up, or whatever we have. If we have any issue in our router, whatever happening inside router, we will have all log here. Okay, we will have all log. So if example, if router is corrupted, we cannot check logs inside the router, so we can come and we can check in this syslog server. In real life, we are not using this like this, but we have application, we will install that application in our server and we will configure, so that one is having, so we can export that log also, we can do whatever we want to do. Okay, so this is a basic video for syslog server. Just remember, syslog is used to monitor the router or switches or firewall messages, whatever Cisco iOS is giving the notice, like these messages, if interface go down or OSPF is up, OSPF is down, whatever is happening inside the router, we will get that notice. Okay, so whenever everything is happening on the router or the switch, syslog inform us with the help of syslog, we can say like this. And let me write here also, if I want to check, example, if I want to check, I will write show logging, we can check here, we already discussed, right? Whatever is happening here, we will have. Actually, I did not start also logging, we can start, we can write here, let me show you. We have one command, with that command we can enable show login, we can see the logging buffer, we need to write logging buffer, so it will start all the saving record in the logging buffer. If I press this one and I do anything, let me go to any interface, I will write interface F0 by 1, right? I will write shut, and then I will go again, I will write no shut. Okay, so then after that I will exit and I will write show login. Now we will have this message because now I enable that one. Let me check, it came here, syslog is not recorded, or we don't have here, just I disable here. Let me check here, maybe this one is not enabled or what. We need to write show login buffer, I think. let me do like this, show login. Okay, show buffer, let me write bu. Actually in packet tracer we don't have more feature also. Let me check buffer. Let me see buffer, right? Maybe this command is not support, or let me write the other command if I want to. Let me show you. Actually this command is not supporting in packet tracer, so I will show you in the GNS. Actually what we are checking the buffered, whatever is syslog is storing in the router, how we can check that we are doing. So for doing that one we write show login, but here in this packet tracer it is not showing. Okay, first of all what we need to write, login buffered. We need to write login buffered means store whatever is going on in the buffered also. But here if I want to check, how we will check, we will write show login, but when I wrote show login it is not showing here inside. So what I can do, I can go to the GNS3. I have one router here, I will show you in this router. Okay, some commands are not working in the packet tracer, so I will show you in the GNS3 this one. So let me show you. I open already this. This is a console for the CLI for the router. So what I will show you. First of all, see, whenever we want to enable, we need to go to global configuration. We need to write login buffered. Okay. So I wrote this one. So it will start recording the sys messages in the buffered. It will give us, it is recording all this one. Okay. So now I will go to any interface. I will go config T. Already I am in the config T. I will write interface F0/0. Okay. I will put shutdown this one. So we have one messages. I will write no shut. So we have the syslog messages here. After that what I can do, we have these messages. Okay, so now I will exit this one and I will exit this one. So after that I want to write here show login. Okay, so if I write show login, it will show our syslog messages. Let me show you. I will press this enter. See, if you see whatever we are getting, this all are the syslog messages. Okay, so we are getting here syslog messages. What this example, this one is up, this one is down, whatever we perform we are getting. This is a buffered, log buffered means we have buffer memory this one, and we are getting this one. But if you check in the packet tracer, it is not showing. Let me take any router. When I wrote show login, okay, it is not showing here. If you see here, nothing is shown here. But if you see in the GNS3, in the real image, when we check, we have this one. Okay, so this is the messages, whatever we log, means syslog messages, whatever we have in the our router. So this is the one I want to show you, saying that whatever is stored in our router we can check like this. Okay, so before closing this video, this is our notes and this is our basic topic. Okay, so subscribe to our channel, like our video, share with your friend who is interested in CCNA 200-301 series. We need to check what is pending. Some more thing is pending. After that we are going to start automation and programmability. So we are going to do automation and programmability. In this we have some labs and more theory we have, but anyhow I am going to show you some labs in the Python also, how we can configure the router. Like I want to configure telnet in 10 router at a time, how I can do. We are going to tell that one, but before that one we are going to do remaining pending topics, whatever we have. After that we are going to start that one. Okay, so we finish now 4.5 syslog. Now I think we have QoS, quality of service. We are going to do next topic is quality of service. And if you what I can say, if you remember anything we forget, please write in the comments, so we will cover that one. After that we are going to start 6.0, that is automation programmability. Thank you, bye.